Yeah, well, this is, a much worse situation than we were in 2 weeks ago, mainly because there was a hurricane 2 weeks ago, and the impacts of this hurricane were really being warned by the federal government as well as state and local officials. It seems that the storm so far has not been as bad as it was originally predicted, but has still been extremely devastating to those coastal communities along that western part of Florida. 1.6 million people currently are without power there. There is, of course, the very real possibility of a storm surge as well, although so far those initial predictions of a 15 feet high storm surge don't seem to have come to fruition, but nevertheless there is the backside of the hurricane still to contend with. There's also been massive rainfall. Florida, in the Tampa area in particular, has seen 6 months worth of rainfall in just a couple of hours. So that gives you some kind of idea of the amount of flooding that is going to be on these roads. The National Weather Service said it would take about a week for some of this water to drain away. So the storm is slowly weakening as it makes its way across the Floridian Peninsula. It is now a Category 2 as it heads towards Orlando, but there is now still a lot more work to do. It's only really with the breaking of the day that the emergency services will be able to get to work. Once that wind drops below that 45-mile-per-hour threshold, that is when the emergency services really can get out and start assessing the damage and responding. Really, there has been a massive amount of response, not only from the state government but also from the federal government as well. Joe Biden has said that he has pre-positioned thousands of people to aid in the rescue efforts. We are seeing FEMA, the disaster agency, with over 1,000 responders on the ground in Florida, pre-positioned, waiting for this storm to impact, as well as 1,400 search and rescue personnel. They are being helped by a plethora of helicopters from the Department of Defense. The Coast Guard is there as well, 1,300 personnel from the U.S. Coast Guard to help in search and rescue efforts. And there are also 6,000 members of the National Guard, and the possibility of more being sent in if need be. And we're also looking at numbers like 500 ambulances that have been sent into the area to help deal with the relief efforts, and a number of high water vehicles as well being sent from the Department of Defense. So a massive amount of manpower and machinery being given there, and that's just a drop in the ocean of the the plethora of things that need to be saved and repatched up and rebuilt, including hospitals, communications, and the like. So a massive effort to come in the wake of this storm.
And concerning the federal response to Hurricane Helene, there's been some misinformation and disinformation surrounding that response. Can you tell us about it?
Yeah, there has. A lot of it must be said, been put forward by Donald Trump, who has made various false allegations about FEMA, the disaster agency that is overseeing this response from the federal level. He's made numerous claims about FEMA money being redirected to deal with the migration crisis in the United States. That has been proven to be untrue, although it should be said and has been pointed out by numerous Democrats that it was something that Donald Trump did during a disaster time when he was president in 2018. He also has said that FEMA has been effectively confiscating people's property and commandeering people's property. That also has been proven not to be true. And there are various other, parts of disinformation that have been spread like wildfire on social media by users, which have also been debunked as well. But it's been something that Joe Biden and the agencies, including the Republican governors of some of these states that have been impacted, they have all said that it actually has hampered efforts and it has not helped. And it's also something which has clearly angered Joe Biden. Take a listen to what he said at a press conference earlier today about this.
For the last few weeks, there's been a reckless, irresponsible, and relentless promotion of disinformation and outright lies that are disturbing people. It's undermining confidence in the incredible rescue and recovery work that has already been taken and will continue to be taken. And it's harmful to those who need help the most. There is simply no place for this to happen. Former President Trump has led the onslaught of lies. assertions have been made that property is being confiscated. That's simply not true.
So reckless and irresponsible, the words from Joe Biden there. The disaster relief efforts are now beginning, and Biden says that the federal government will be there as long as the people of Florida and those other states impacted need it.
All right, Fraser Jackson, thank you very much for that update from Washington.